Hello and welcome back to Motel Business Simulator. I made a video of my first impressions of the game with the initial steps, and I've played for a little bit longer to pass on some more information and hopefully some hints and tips. So as a Motel Business Simulator, you want to get guests into your room, and you're going to start with initially 4 rooms over at the back of the lot here, and you will be required to furnish them to fulfill guests' needs. As you would expect, early in game the guests don't need very much, and so that means that via your reception desk here, which I will show you, you can speak to the guests and they will show you which requirements they have. So this chap here would like a bath, shampoo, towels, toilet and a face mask. If I click on my room list, then as I cycle through the available rooms,
room doesn't work for me.
He's not happy there because we didn't have what he needs. So there you can see the requirements. A bathrobe we need to fulfill that. So unfortunately you will find that you will be refusing guests quite regularly, and that unfortunately does affect the motel's reputation. So a lot of this is going to be fetch and carry type things. So once you have ordered what you need via your computer here, so you can go across to order. You can see now that quite a lot of the different items have been unlocked, and that's a combination of furnishings and consumables. When you buy those, then this van will come screeching into the car lot and you'll be required to empty it. And so my first tip there is you need to prioritize what you need, because there's only so much that can be fitted into the van per delivery. So if you're looking to furnish a room, then I'd suggest just ordering what you need in dribs and drabs so that you can unpack it and take it over to the room. Second top tip is, although there's this cart that you can put a number of different products on, you can't actually move very quickly with it. So it is actually quicker, which I will hopefully show. Let's pick up this fridge. We can press R2 and actually run over to our rooms. And then within our rooms, you can see here that I've already unlocked a couple of different things. So we've got the desk, the bed and a lamp. And the guests' requirements will increase quite quickly to essentially need everything that you can access. So cash-wise, cash management, there's still income even though you're not always got your rooms inhabited. So on my current playthrough, I've spent probably the better part of 3 of the working days just getting the rooms ready and restocking. So once we've got our box, we can press circle to unpack it, and then we can pop it into where we would like it within our rooms. So we'll put the fridge in there and place it. Now there isn't any kind of decorating aspect to the game, so there's going to be these kind of generic bits of furniture that the guests need in order to fulfill their requirements. And so the aim really is to make sure that the rooms are fully stocked and let. Now the way the game's set up, that isn't going to be possible all of the time, so I wouldn't worry too much about that, in that you're going to be able to get a guest in and kind of turn it around and get another one in within each working day, because every time a guest stays in your room, they will rifle through all of the consumables, or most certainly a toilet roll, and they will also every time leave the room in a mess that needs cleaning, which is actually, it's almost quite funny on the game, because that involves all of the floors being completely filthy. And that leads us on to the next part of the gameplay, is that next to our reception we have 4 very sinister looking maids just stood round in a circle in some kind of seance. Now what you'll need to do is, once your rooms are dirty, so that is managed via the reception desk here, we can see the status of each of our rooms. And should the room be dirty, then we will need to go over to the staff and you can see that at the moment I have unlocked an extra 2, but originally you will only be able to access cleaner 1, who is incredibly slow, and so a lot of the working day will be spent actually cleaning the room. And whilst they're cleaning the room, you can't actually restock it. So my other top tip would be to take the consumables that you need and leave them near your motel rooms. Now, the only problem with that is that anything at the end of each working day that is dotted around will automatically go back to the spawn point over here, so this pallet. Unless that is, excuse me, you have put it in your storeroom here. So you can stock your stuff. We'll put the towels over here. And you can stack the smaller boxes 2 deep, and you can also stack them higher as well, so that they're a lot more accessible when you need to restock your rooms. Now, it would be good, in my opinion, if you could turn off the vacancy sign. Just whilst I say that, just make sure that I can't do that, because unfortunately you're very rarely going to be in a position where you can fulfill all the guests' needs, because of what I've just mentioned is the constant need to replenish the stock, and as you go through the progress levels, they're going to need more and more of that stuff. So that would be good. So here's our reputation. Our current status is low because our customers are pretty much non-existent. It's been 3 working days, basically buying stock, taking it out of the van and putting it away, and hopefully getting the rooms ready. So another top tip there is you can order stock out of hours. So the working day ends at 10 p.m. You can order your stock and you can put it into your rooms, but the van won't come back, so it won't deliver outside of working hours. So say I had another 2 or 3 vans worth of stock at the moment, then because it's after 10 p.m, they wouldn't come back. So ideally, the gameplay mechanic would be to get your rooms ready for a working day, and then you can spend your day ordering the stock and putting it away in your storage area, and then you can spend your out of hours time then putting that into the rooms so they're ready for the next working day. So I would say the most efficient you could do this is probably to have 1 guest per room per day. You can of course have the cleaners in there during the working day so that it's ready to restock. In terms of the content, you can extend your motel, which I will show you here, up to, so we go to upgrade, we can get to a total of 12 rooms. So we've currently got 5. They're not massive amounts of money to unlock, but that does mean that you're going to have to furnish each of those rooms. And although you can see the inventory in there, the best approach I've found is to fully furnish everything with everything that is available so that you can satisfy the guests' criteria. So that is a total of 12 rooms that you can furnish. We can have up to 4 cleaning staff, and as far as I can see, there is no other format of staff. So another thing that I would like to see if there was game development would be some kind of stocking system where you could maybe pay staff to go and replenish the rooms. I personally would like to be able to decorate the rooms as well. So you can see here that actually after a relatively short amount of playtime, we've almost unlocked everything that we can within the game. So for the price point, you do expect it to be on the lighter end of the simulator spectrum, and I think that is the case. I always try and measure the games and the costs versus what you could get in the real world for your money. So for £6, you could probably go and have a coffee with your partner or someone else, and it probably costs more than that. So in my opinion, if you get in kind of, I don't know, 10, 20 hours of chilled out gameplay, then it's well worth it. And I think that perfectly sums up this game. So it's not an early access game. I'm not sure whether there are any plans to further develop it. You know, if you like organising inventories, then this is probably right up your street, because we can stack it over here and put our different products on the different shelves and then go and get our rooms ready for the day. Other things which kind of were just little minor frustrations is that the trolley is incredibly slow. So if you then wanted to take your stock over to your rooms, for some reason this is the fastest it will go. Top tip there as well, while I think of it, because I did do this, is if you spend quite a bit of time thinking that you're being efficient by putting your trolley here so that you can unpack the vehicle and then take it all nicely over to the motel, there are collision mechanics. So as this car comes screeching in to deliver, it will knock all of those products over, or if you've left them on the ground, it will knock them all over. If you also then think, actually, as I've done here, what I'll do is I'll get some product ready to restock the rooms and make my life a little bit easier, then once the working day ends, they will respawn on the pallet over here and you'll have to redo it. And lastly, for some reason, every time you come out of one of your rooms, the door remains open, but when you go back in, it will close right in your face. It's not game breaking by any point of the imagination, but just little things. So yeah, that's how I would sum it up. It would be nice to have some light decorating kind of mechanics where you could maybe put pictures or a bit of wallpaper. I know motels are supposed to be short stay places where you've got the basics, so I might spend a bit of time just kind of changing the layout of the rooms a little bit, just to keep it interesting. So I reckon, you know, I'll probably get to a point where we've unlocked everything that we can within probably another couple of hours or so, and then I couldn't really see that there'd be an awful lot of replayability in there. Hope that's been helpful. If it has, then giving the video a thumbs up really helps. And if you've got any comments or anything that you'd like to see, then I will read and respond to them. And whilst I'm looking at this single solitary tree in the middle of this very busy car parking lot, that's the other thing that I think would really add value to the game, is if you could have some kind of environmental things that you could add in, say like a swimming pool or a little cafe or something, because this is where the footprint ends for the rooms. So there seems to be a bit of scope to add things in, and it's a bit odd just to see people kind of wandering around. It's a bit like Walking Dead, watching all these people just meander around your car park. And then of course we've got the cleaners stood around. I'll leave you with this to finish the video. Thank you very much for watching. There is other content on the channel. I have been focusing more recently on the simulators. If you hit that subscribe button, then you get notifications of what's coming up, and if that's of interest for you. Thank you very much for watching, and hope to see you in other videos.